What up, world? Um, welcome to my July movie talk, man. I told y'all last month when I did my favorite '90s movies video that after AntMan came out, I was gonna update my favorite MCU movies. AntMan's out. It's the end of the month. The time is here. I'm gonna do. I know there's 12 movies. I know it's a bit lazy of me, but I always do 10. I think last month I did 11 because I just couldn't take one out. Sue me. But I was thinking, like, after The Good Dinosaur comes out, I'm gonna do my favorite Pixar movies, and there's like 15 of them motherfuckers. So it'd be like a 25-minute long video. I know y'all don't watch my shit anyway, so I'm gonna do 10. I'm gonna keep it 10. I'm gonna keep it 10 for Pixar, so I'm gonna keep it 10 for Marvel. I kept it 10 for DreamWorks. So here we go. At number 10, I got Iron Man 2. Um, for the most part, I like Iron Man 2. I don't care that Disney or Paramount or Marvel or whoever rushed Jon Favreau into doing a sequel. I didn't care, man. I enjoyed Robert Downey Jr. back in the suit. It's good to be back. The whole Stark Expo thing. People were crying because John Slattery portrayed Howard Stark to look just like Walt Disney. I didn't care. I thought Whiplash was good for his role. More of him, aside from the racetrack in the very end, would have been real cool. Um, I think Don Cheadle was an upgrade over Terrence Howard. But I would have I hate when they swap actors in the middle of a series. So I wanted Terrence Howard to continue being Rhodey, eventually War Machine, but as an actor, I like Don Cheadle more, so I wasn't complaining. Sam Rockwell killed it, and yeah, since this is my 10 out of 12, then clearly I like this movie better than two other ones that aren't gonna be on the list. You'll know which ones they are by the end of the video. At number 9, I got Thor: The Dark World. Um, I thought it was an upgrade over the first Thor. I thought it was cool to like have this be one of the first movies right after the Avengers. He's already like established this relationship with Jane Foster, Natalie Portman's character. I could have done without Kat Dennings. Um, I don't know, the way that they turned Stellan Skarsgård, like how he was affected basically by like being controlled by Loki and shit. The whole red matter, which turned into another Infinity Stone thing. I thought it was good, man. And then the way it ended didn't affect Avengers Age of Ultron. Well, I can't really say that. I don't want to go into too much detail because a lot of motherfuckers might not have seen Age of Ultron, but there is a part or two where something that affected Thor might be because of the end of Thor: The Dark World, which should affect Thor Ragnarok. At number 8, I got The Incredible Hulk, and I mean it's my list, I know, but I'm a little salty that it's this low. Um, I loved what Edward Norton did. It's a reboot from the Eric Bana Hulk, but at the same time they basically summarized the Eric Bana Hulk in the opening credits. I thought Louis Leterrier was a good director. I think Edward Norton like wrote a lot of the script. He's in hiding, and because of Stanley like drinking part of his like gamma radiated blood or some shit. They find out where he is, and they're finally gonna bring back William Hurt as Thunderbolt in Civil War, and then hopefully they'll acknowledge Tim Roth's character, the Abomination. I think it's a wrap on ever seeing Tim Blake Nelson come back as the leader, even though that shit was alluded to. I thought Liv Tyler worked as Betty Ross. I kind of like Jennifer Connelly better, but Liv Tyler worked for me. Um, like I said, man, this is one of the most underrated Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, man. And just because I love practically everything they've done, this just landed at 8. At number 7, another one that I'm a little disappointed ranks so low on my list is Captain America: The First Avenger. Um, this movie does not get the love it deserves. Um, I watched this last year, right after The Winter Soldier came out on Blu-ray, and I love this movie. I would say Red Skull is one of the better overall villains in the entire cinematic universe. I love that it's practically a period piece. You know, Joe Johnston did The Rocketeer, so he has history. He has a knowledge and a history of doing movies that take place in the past. In World War II, man, Tommy Lee Jones played the military officer who just really didn't want to give Rogers a chance. So, you know, Rogers like took it upon himself to go save Bucky, um, Derek Luke, um, Neil McDonough, I think is how you pronounce his name. Um, you know, they played part of the crew that helped Cap save Bucky. Um, I just like Captain America is one of the dopest superheroes overall, and like this was a really dope close to the build up to the Avengers. If you get what I'm saying, um, it was the first Avenger, but he was the last of the main Avengers to get his own solo movie, and I love this movie. Number 6, I got Iron Man, the first one, the very first movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's a bare bones, you know. Tony Stark makes weapons. He goes through a traumatic event. He realizes his weapons are the cause of so many casualties. He wants to turn his company into a tech company or whatever. He puts his knowledge of building things basically to good use. He builds the Iron Man suit. He doesn't just suit up and become a hero. You see him go through the struggles to learn how to use this stuff for good. And then a coworker, a colleague, a mentor to an extent sees what he's done and wants to use it for evil. And then there's a main fight toward the end, and the hero wins. And then Tony Stark is just so arrogant at the end of the movie. He just announces to everybody, "I am Iron Man." I love it. It's what got the ball rolling. If this movie failed, we would not be where we are today. I would not be doing this video. And I know when I did this video last year after Winter Soldier came out, this movie was a lot higher. But I reevaluated my list, and I really looked at my list, and there's just movies that I had more fun with, that had better action, that the story was better. So I took it down a little ways, man. At number 5, I got the Avengers. This movie is great. If I redo this list next year after Doctor Strange comes out, which I probably will, the Avengers could be higher. This is right now how I feel. The Avengers is number 5. Seeing all these heroes on the big screen together was amazing. You know, Loki has his staff, gets the Tesseract, it has an Infinity Stone, and the Avengers got to assemble to take him out. You know what I'm saying? The Chitauri with all the aliens, that whole Battle of New York thing, that was so epic. The way Cap took over, the way there's animosity in the team, the way like especially the animosity between Iron Man and Captain America, and Iron Man trying to get Bruce Banner to Hulk out. It's funny, man. The action is great and it's funny. The post-credit scene introduces Thanos, and then we get Hawkeye and we get Black Widow, you know, more evolved and whatnot. And then Nick Fury, Coulson. I love this movie, man. I love the first Avengers. At number 4 is Avengers Age of Ultron. I think Age of Ultron is a great movie. And now that time's passed, people are trying to say that, oh, Age of Ultron wasn't as good as I originally thought. No, Age of Ultron was dope, man. Hawkeye shined. Thor shined. Vision was so cool. Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch were cool. And not, oh my gosh, I've repeated this a few times in a couple different videos, man, but people knocking Ultron's reason for being a villain. He assessed the world's history through the internet and decided that humans were the reason for all of its destruction. So you take out humanity, no more crime, no more violence. And you understood Ultron's cause, and that's why he's a great villain. And then just and the way that it's leading into Civil War, the way it introduced new Avengers, the way that it brought in, the way that it's leading into Infinity War. I love, like, when I initially left the theater, I didn't. Upon seeing it a second time, I loved Age of Ultron. It comes on Blu-ray October 2nd. Believe I'm gonna have that shit the day it comes out. At number 3, I got Ant-Man. I won't go into too much detail because I know there's probably a lot of people that haven't seen it yet. I thought the whole cast worked. I thought, like, people are trying to knock Ant-Man because it is not as big as Age of Ultron. It's not as big as Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not as big as Captain America Winter Soldier. They play on the whole bug aspect, from the scale of the movie to the runtime of the movie to the jokes, the dialogue. There's a lot of bug-related puns. Age of Ultron ended. The final battle in Age of Ultron was on a piece of land that was floating out of the earth. That's how big that movie was. Ant-Man, the final battle in Ant-Man takes place inside a little girl's bedroom. It's genius. Like, Paul Rudd was real dope as the hero. Michael Douglas was real dope as the original hero. Evangeline Lilly, I thought, was gonna take away from it, but she worked. I can't wait to see her in future movies. It didn't force its way into the cinematic universe. It fit everything so perfect. Michael Pena was hilarious, despite what some people are saying. It takes, in my opinion, it takes the story of Iron Man. There's a suit, there's a hero. The hero doesn't initially just become the hero. He takes his bumps, he trains, he stumbles, and there's a colleague, a coworker, someone close to the scenario that has similar aspirations for evil. And then there's an altercation here and there. There's a big blowout toward the end, and it works smoothly. And it's one of the funniest Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Like, Ant-Man was hilarious. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. At number 2, I got Guardians of the Galaxy. Man, this movie had so much riding on it. These ragtag misfits, man, that have a similar cause, all get together and become good guys, man, because they're all thieves, and they're all bounty hunters, and they're all convicts, you know what I mean, and work for the bad guy or whatever, Ronan and Thanos. And Ronan is an underrated villain, if you ask me. I think the trailers come out. It was cool. The music was classic, and it all clicked, man. And it was funny. This is the funniest movie of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to me. It was just so unique, man. It was like a breath of fresh air last summer that completely worked and completely caught everybody by surprise. And the way that this movie performed is probably why people are trying to knock Ant-Man. This movie is great, man. And James Gunn said the sequel is called Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's so cool. The Super Awesome Mixtape Volume 2. I heard it's supposed to have even better music on it. I don't know how to explain it, man. Like, I can't wait. Like, Chris Pratt worked as a hero, worked as the leader of the team, worked as Star-Lord. I can't wait to see who his dad's gonna be. I've heard rumors. I don't want to say anything in case they're true. Yondu's supposed to come back. I hope that there's some type of Iron Man, Hulk, some type of cameo. I'm really looking forward to the sequel, man, and just all the possibilities that could happen. I hope there's no hang-ups, and I hope Zoe Saldana, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, Dave Bautista. I hope everybody comes back, man. James Gunn, he's already got the script done. I think Chris Pratt said it made him cry or something. And then my number 1, man, my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie is Captain America Winter Soldier. It's a spy movie, man. It's an action movie. The initial fucking mission, man, where Cap goes down and fights George St. Pierre and and saves the Shield employees, but Black Widow's doing like a side mission or whatever. And then like Cap doesn't really trust Nick Fury. He's just not telling him everything. Like Fury's not being completely honest. And Robert Redford, man, just an actor of his caliber being in a Marvel movie, man, like that was a fucking staple, man. That's a statement that great Oscar caliber actors can be in comic book movies and taken seriously. Um, and then just the shock of Bucky being alive. Like Cap had no idea. The introduction of Falcon, man, I think Anthony Mackie completely works as Falcon. I'm glad to see him reprise his role in more than just Captain America movies. Basically, the way that like everything that Cap believed in just kind of like turned on him, and he basically had to clear his name, clear the good guy's name, man, fight for good. And then the way they set up Frank Grillo to be Crossbones, I can't wait to see Crossbones in Civil War. And just the way that, like, how important this movie was, and the way that they set up Civil War, and the way that how important the Civil War sounds to Phase 3, to the cinematic universe, to all of it, man. I love Chris Evans as Captain America. I'm not sure how much more he has on his contract. Civil War might be the last movie on his Marvel deal. I'm not sure, but I've always had a theory about the end of Civil War and Chris Evans. We'll see how that turns out. But the fighting, man, the Russo brothers, everybody came to play and everybody crushed it. Give me your favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, man. There's so many good ones. I mean, just let me know what you think. Let me know what's your favorites. Let me know how you feel about the cinematic universe and what you think about the future of the cinematic universe. This will be a video that I update my list at the end, after the last movie every year comes out. We'll see what gets bumped. We'll see what stays. Next month, I know Mission Impossible Rogue Nation does come out in July, but it comes out July 31st. So for August, I've got this video requested a few times. For August, I'm gonna do Tom Cruise for my movie talk. As far as upcoming videos, man, I'm gonna look for my vacation review, look for my Mission Impossible review. The Gift and Fantastic Four come out the first Friday in August. And also, man, check out my recently posted reviews for Pixels, for Southpaw. If you go see movies, man, tag me in your ticket stubs. I'm curious to know what everybody's going to watch, man. Find me wherever y'all find me, man. Movie Pilot, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, man. Peace.